in order to create maybe a more visual way of looking at the data? Uh, that's a good question. Why don't we go ahead and take a look? So my thought process here is that we would put our claim numbers, right? And then we would go with that dynamic deductible amount. So we'll see. Okay. And then we really don't, not that we don't care, but it really doesn't matter the zeros, right? So we would probably want to just filter those out. At least I do. And this. So we're going to go filter above. I'm just going to make it 0, right? Anything above 0 is what we're after. Okay, so now we have our claims, that are into our reinsurance layer, carrier layer, excuse me, whatever you want to say. They are past deductible, right? So that's the key here. But how can I get some further details? What's the claim or 2 or 5, right? That might really be the issue. Well, we can take it a step further, right? The first approach that I would do is to go ahead and make it, a line chart here, or excuse me, a bar chart. And with the bar chart, there's a couple of things that we have going on. So first off, I'm going to make some room. So you have your dynamic deductible V2, just the label itself there. So just by taking off the values, it's giving us that. All right. And then we also want to put our claim number on the categories, all right, so that we can now see the claim number itself. And then to me, I think we need to sort, right? Largest to smallest. So let's go ahead and do that as well. So I'm going to right click, sort, and then we'll see if we get it decided. Yeah. Okay. So now we're starting to have something, right? This is starting to be a little bit more meaningful here. I can take the list of our, top 10 or whatever it might be, and really find some additional, information, or find what's driving these specific claims out. We can dive further into them, right? We can focus into this specific claim. We could look at, who the adjuster is. We could look at all the details that goes into that specific claim if we would like. The other thing, of course, is if you wanted to change the deductible amount. So this almost becomes like a threshold amount. So if you're just looking at, well, what's above 500,000? Well, what's above the 700? Now you can play with it, right? And you can kind of hone in maybe what it is you're truly looking for. The other thing, of course, if you wanted to make it smaller, you could do so. Now it does start to get a little cramped, right? You might do like a top 10, or you might do something just to kind of bring it out. Of course, it really doesn't matter how much you change these numbers. The claims are still going to be sorted, largest to smallest. So the order really doesn't change, one bit. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind as well.